Howdy.
Hi there. How you doing?
All right. How are you?
Pretty good, Steve?
Greetings. How you doing?
Doing just
Pretty good.
fine.
Uh,
Have you got everybody that you need on the new email list there?
I I don't know. I mean, that's the honest truth. I'm pretty happy with the list as it stands.
Okay.
And we can add more later if we come up with it. But I added Kenny. He finally he did email me. I think it was yesterday when he emailed me, and he says that he thinks Jim is just wanting to take a break. So,
Okay.
I mean that's perfectly fine. I would have wished somebody would have said, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
going to take a break."
Yeah.
But
Well, hopefully he's okay.
yeah, I I emailed Kenny and said, "Okay," pretty much said the same thing. Hopefully he's all right. Um, so there's that, and that's really about all I know.
Okay.
I don't know anything else. Um,
Now this and the next two beyond that meetings are virtual, right?
the
Or am I screwing it up?
Next one's on the 1st. It should be physical.
Yep, February 1st and 8th are in person,
And then you've got three after that, or
and
two
then I've
after.
got three virtual, and then it
Okay.
looks like there's one in person scheduled for March and two virtual. So I'm not real sure what that's about. Maybe he
Well,
couldn't get the room in March.
maybe there was some conflicts.
I won't be at the one on the 1st.
Okay.
That's Marla's birthday.
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. Gosh.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan, Steve.
Yeah, I mean we're getting close to the end of what he had scheduled. So
Okay.
I need to either figure out how we're going to schedule it or figure out if we're just going to do virtuals or what we're going to do.
Do you know the people that he talks to there at the library?
I used to. The one lady that when we first started this, I think she's moved on to other things. I don't see her there anymore. Of course, most of the people recognize me, but I don't know who they are. I mean, you know,
Mm-hmm.
um, but probably February, I will ask one of them what I need to do to do this. There used to be a way to do this online, schedule meetings, and request the room, but the link that I had to do that has changed. So I don't even know if that is possible or how to
Didn't
do
your
that.
dad used to work at the library or volunteer at the library or something or another?
He worked at the one in Middletown, and he he doesn't work there anymore. They during COVID, he got they kind of laid off a bunch of people that were not essential to their plan or whatever, and he never really went back. he said that he kind of enjoys his retirement, so he didn't go back to work when they were letting people come back. So well, that was easy. Steve figured it out.
Google figured it out.
Google figured it out. Let's see what we got going on. I probably need a library card and
Is that the boardroom?
yeah, the boardroom.
What's community room C? Any idea?
Isn't community room C the big room right there in the front next to the bathrooms?
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense.
There's two of them there, I believe, aren't there?
Yeah,
Well,
and they can combine those to make one big.
Oh, they have a sliding wall or something?
Yeah,
I think they have 3 up there.
3 up
There's
there.
community room A/B and C.
Yeah, one of them is huge, so it's probably A and B is huge.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
hello.
Guess
Hello?
Oh,
The
not.
the internet.
Steve. Hello. Oh no. Is it me? Did I do it? It was
What
me.
Come back.
It was me. My internet just went away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was I had to actually reset the stack.
Huh. So have you been having some instability in the area there?
No and yes.
Okay, that's confusing.
The machine to my left has been intermittent off and on, and sometimes when it connects to the 5G, the 5 gigahertz thing, it knocks this computer off, and I have to restart the stack on this computer.
So you have 2 routers?
No, I have one router, but for whatever reason, the 5G from the machine that's just immediately to my left causes all kinds of hate and discontent. If I'm connected to the 2G on that machine, it's fine. So my guess is it actually became unstable, and when it reconnected, it connected to the 5G, causing me to get knocked off on my machine, because why not?
Okay.
I'm not
So-
sure what it is about it. Whatever Wi-Fi card they've got in this other machine, it's flaky on 5G at best. And at worst, it seems like it's sending out all kinds of packets that it shouldn't be sending. So I try to avoid getting it to connect on 5G.
When I was at the apartment complex in Fairfield, we were required to use wireless, which pissed me off to no end. And I set up a bridge and then hooked everything up with a wire, and that was rock solid. But yeah, I saw issues with a machine connecting to wireless would bump another one.
Yep. Yep.
I hate wireless.
Whatever it's doing. But it only does it when it connects to the 5G. So I try to avoid that. Anyway, I'm actually considering dumping Spectrum here in a couple months and going with AT&T, I think. I think it was AT&T with their 5G LTE home internet thing. I'm not sure that I'm going to get the same speeds, but it should be good enough for videos and all that stuff. But
So what is the technology of AT&T? Is it cable? Is it wireless?
what's offered here is the 5G 5G home internet cell thing. They've got fiber ran down in Cincinnati. It might be Cincinnati Bell that I was looking at.
Well, and I can tell you in my house there in Terrace Ridge, which is right off of Milford, we have fiber up there because it was put in after we bought the place and moved in, and I watched them drill the conduits underneath the grass, actually underneath the sidewalk across the front. And I have not signed up for it yet. I still have cable, and that gives me pretty good performance. Basically everything that I need. You know,
Right.
I can stream movies. I can obviously do internet connections a la Zoom, etc. But I may go. I may go to the fiber also.
I'm paying
Go-
$52 a month for 640-ish megs of bandwidth, megabits. So
yeah, megabits.
Who are you with?
Cincinnati Bell. Well,
Cincinnati.
Alta Fiber now.
Yeah.
I have been with CBT for like 10 years. Oh, more than that. I was one of their first customers with Zoomtown, and I've stuck with them since. I've had others when I couldn't avoid it. CBT does a good job. I mean, I will give this. Initially, they screw everything up, but
Okay.
within a day, they get it fixed, and it stays fixed. In the last, well, since 2017, I have like 4 minutes of downtime.
Wow.
I am a huge fan of CBT.
So who is CBT then?
Cincinnati Bell Telephone.
Yeah.
They started the whole thing out here for fiber. Alta bought the fiber division, but I'm fairly certain that Alta was already running it and CBT was licensing it from them. But I'm not certain.
So this is different from AT&T then.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
CBT and AT&T cut ties in,
Long
oh
ago.
shoot, oh, yeah, something like 2003.
Well, what I have is called Spectrum,
I know.
Yes.
Sorry.
and the physical media is coax.
Let's
But
see.
I've got fiber physical media running up my sidewalk. I don't have a connection to it yet because I haven't signed up for it. And I assume that that's equivalent to your CBT you're talking about? Or is that AT&T fiber?
I don't know. Leroy, can you enable screen sharing?
Oh, yep,
No, 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 no.
I could do that. There you go.
That's at my house now. I just tested it. And that
Okay.
2 millisecond delay is sweet. This is fast.com tests to Netflix servers. And I will give, this is kind of cheating because Netflix colos with Cincinnati Bell. So this is just a speed test from my house to Cincinnati Bell.
And where's your colo?
In Cincinnati at the Cyrus One building.
Ultra Fiber seems to think that I actually have service here.
Wow.
It
Don't.
it's according to our records, this address is not available to establish or modify services in our cart. Oh, maybe it's saying that's just worded weird. Maybe it's saying that I can't get service here. Then they gave me a phone number and a chat prompt. I don't think Ultra Fiber's up this far, but
It may well be. There's a huge push right now. So those are my speed. Oh, go away.
15 billion.
Those are my speeds to Chillicothe, Ohio. So that ain't bad.
Yep.
That's let me run my own servers for years. I'll put my uptime against any company.
Mine, according to Fast, is,
That's not bad at all.
yeah,
I'm surprised.
but the latency.
And you're going to Chicago.
Yep. No, I typically get right around that. But I don't like Spectrum. I hate Spectrum.
Yeah.
I'm only paying for 300. So I typically do a little bit better than what I'm paying for. I'm also streaming, and I know Patty's in there watching a movie. So
Oh yeah. Honestly, for Netflix, you can stream on 4 megabit.
yeah, I don't.
It's
We don't.
ugly, but
We
it'll
don't.
work.
We don't have Netflix. We have she's watching. She's just watching the
Hulu.
Roku channel.
I know side by side, the pictures look about the same to me. The speed difference between Netflix and Hulu is impressive. Netflix is just over half the bandwidth. I have no idea what their compression is, but I just saw a thing earlier today that Netflix was recompressing all of their video or working on it.
Wow. Netflix isn't. We had Netflix for a while, and then a couple of shows that I liked moved to Hulu, so we got Hulu for a while. And then I just said I don't want to pay for any of this stuff, and we just started watching the Roku channel and Pluto TV and something else because it's all free. It ad supported free, but that's all right. no different than watching over the air TV, really. But I was watching one. There was one channel I was watching. I don't remember what it was, but when I first loaded the app up, commercial breaks were, kind of like television. And I fired it up,
Excuse me.
and suddenly every 5 seconds I was getting a commercial, and I'm like, okay, this is unwatchable. You can how can you do this to this poor movie? So did everybody well, there's only two of you, but did you guys get the meeting announcement
Yeah,
Yes.
I did.
and the 20-minute warning?
Yep.
20-minute warning. I must have missed that.
Well, that happened about 20 minutes before the meeting, so about 40 minutes
Oh,
ago.
I haven't looked. Okay. Let me see if I got it.
4:39.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, looks like the room is available on the 14th. So I don't know.
This one came here. You're talking about the automation
Yeah.
technology announcement, blah, blah, blah. It came through out here at 12:35, which had been 3:35 you guys' time.
4:35.
Yeah.
12:35 here, which is where it showed up in my email, would be 3:35 there. We're only 3 hours apart. We're not 4 hours apart.
What time is it there?
Right now, it is 2:25.
It's 5:25 here. That's weird.
That is
Why
weird.
did it show up with
I don't
Huh.
know. All I can do is look at the data.
That is weird.
So
it came through from-
So you didn't get you actually didn't get the second one.
Well, that's the first one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me just
The-
get
you
the
should
up.
have
second
gotten
one-
one about 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, the
Well,
second
about
one
an hour ago.
The second one said virtual meeting 20-minute warning.
Well, let's see.
Should have come.
The first one.
I sent it yesterday. About
Yeah.
about 3:35.
Yeah.
And I sent this one today.
Oh, I see what. Never mind. It's my email sorts things in a
Differently.
tree, and I
Yeah, it was I responded to the original message, so yes, it would have been sorted into the tree.
Yep. So at any rate,
So-
seems to be working okay.
Yeah. I like it. I think it works. I think it's doing what it's supposed to do.
So basically, you just send the group email address,
Mhm.
and you don't have to send to a whole
A whole bunch of
herd of individual addresses.
no.
Anybody who's in the group automatically gets included. Okay.
Yeah. So if you if you send it to Automation Technology Club with dashes in between at Google Groups, everybody in the list should get it.
Okay.
And then if you go to groups.google.com, you should be able, as long as you're logged in with the same thing that I've been sending to, you should be able to see it. there
Okay.
as well.
What do you mean by logged in with the same thing?
The same email, the same
Same
email address.
Gmail account.
What if you aren't using a Gmail account?
You know, I don't know how it works at that point.
Because I still haven't been able to actually
do it.
see anything.
Well,
I-
I use
I-
three different Gmail accounts, and one of them actually belongs to a client of mine, and it seems to be working okay. So at this point, I'm not asking any questions.
Because I do use a different Google account here than I do at home, but it doesn't work at home either, I don't think. Let me check. I don't know that I checked from home.
Hmm.
As long as you're getting the email, you should be all right, Steve. I don't know if you really need to log into the website or not.
Yeah, I'm getting the email. I will be back in a moment. I gotta go get some insulin.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's why he didn't reserve the room. I can only get it for an hour and a half. It's better than now we will see if I get approved. Do not reply. Oh, I did get the Zoom thing that said that Art was waiting today.
Good.
So that did actually happen.
So yeah, I've tried it with both of my Google accounts.
I don't know that other
Not a big
people that
deal.
have been having problems with getting to the website have realized that if they log in with the Google account or the right Google account, then they could see it. I don't know. I really don't.
Is everyone on your list using a Gmail
No.
account?
Nope.
Hmm.
In fact, one of them was the same kind. I think he was having the same problem you were, and he switched to his Gmail account, and suddenly he was able to get in. So, I don't know. I really don't.
That's a thing.
But I requested the room for the 14th of March. But it's only for an hour and a half, not the 2 hours. So maybe that's why
So-
Jim didn't get it
So
before.
bring your knitting, huh?
I don't know.
Well, that's the group we've historically switched off.
Yeah. It doesn't really tell you who the other groups are. It's a weird system.
Well, that's probably intentional. They don't want you
Yeah.
going putting the arm on.
We need the room. Give me the room.
With Hamilton County, when you'd rent a room, there was basically a billboard. You could see who had what room where, and
Mhm.
it would give the synopsis of what that group was doing. So you could go in and say, is there anybody dealing with Linux? And it would give you anything that had that listed in the synopsis.
Yeah.
I kind of liked that. They turned that off. No idea why.
It's probably a privacy thing.
Yeah, people are kind of paranoid about privacy these days.
I think they were telling people or making like a little program or something that you could go and pick up and you could see who was meeting in each room, and they stopped doing that too. So
Yeah, and I kind of wanted it to be a thing in case anybody was doing any searching.
yeah. Hi, Vicente.
Hey, Vicente.
Hello.
You ready for this?
What?
Oh, you can't see it. I gotta turn my
Disappear. Wireless.
virtual background off. Oh, and it's too bright.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bright.
There.
Ah, one of my all-time favorites of theirs is sudo.
That one, so it turns out there is actually a JSON link to it, and easy peasy. I tried to get it to go onto the paper. I got it over here on. I can't get it to resize the display though.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. What is that? Peanuts?
No, that's at
XKCD.
XKCD. And after I dug around a little bit, I found a link to their JSON thing, which is right there in the chat. And this is the daily. So every day, I don't know what time every day, but every day it changes. And I'm going to set that up to restart once a day and go and grab the comic. And once I figure out how to get it to resize, because I think it looks better on the paper displays than it does on the other display, but I could get it to resize on the M5 stack. I couldn't get it to resize on the paper, on the core ink. And I don't really know why. It's basically the same code, it's just different.
I'm surprised the JSON doesn't have the image size in it.
And I'm going to port it all over to this too, which should make it better. Yeah. Think, because the library, the M5 stack library is capable of downloading from the website or from websites and resizing on the fly. I don't know if it's such a big deal unless they go with multiple panels. And I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah, they're not. It's always a single PNG file, but some of them are very wide or very tall.
Yeah. Which would end up looking strange on this little screen. Their only real requirement, which I haven't done yet, is to credit them with, the being the ones that do this. That make the comic.
So how do you credit them?
I'm just going to down in the one of the corners right after it draws the image. I'll just put
Copyright?
image from blah blah blah.
Oh, okay.
It's a Creative Commons attribution license.
Yeah.
So I think that will fulfill the requirement. Uh-oh, Vicente got new toys.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
My dog was barking because UPS was. No, but it's a microphone. Nothing.
Ah,
Tiny.
ah,
Wow, that is tiny.
what is that? A microphone?
Yeah, MEMS microphone.
Okay.
4 of them.
The breakout board comes from Osha Park in a couple of days. Those microphones have a standard range to 40 kilohertz.
Wow.
Ultrasound. I need to check higher frequencies. My location.
Fun what you can do when your eardrum's only a millimeter in diameter.
Yeah. It's omnidirectional, and the thickness of the board. You have a hole in the board to reach the microphone because the inlet is in the solder side, but they say that the thickness of the board doesn't affect the quality of the sound or the intensity or sensibility. Let's see.
So it's just a hole through the board with a diaphragm on one side?
Yeah, the diaphragm is inside the metal case of this tiny thing, and the air passes through a hole in the board, in the PCB. Yeah, supposedly it's also omnidirectional, so you don't need to put the hole in any direction in particular. It always sends the change in pressure or the sound, actually.
Hey, does that board let you can it tell which microphone heard what sound or how fast it heard that sound?
For 40 kilohertz is the frequency.
Yeah, but if you've got
The
4 of,
microphone itself can't tell what the other microphones are doing. You've got to have all 4 of them hooked up to something to figure out where the signal arrived first and second.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like a phase, an acoustic phased array.
Exactly.
there's a round board that's got those microphones on it
Yeah.
that can tell you, give you a direction
Which
off
direction?
of it,
Yeah.
or where it thinks it heard an echo from, or something.
Yeah.
And if that board can do that, that's kind of neat.
I need to check if I can sample fast enough because it's a digital signal, I need to sample maybe 80,000 or 100,000 kilohertz the signal to have a resolution for 40 kilohertz. I see. Well, I was looking for the microphone already in a breadboard, in a breakout board, but doesn't exist. So I need to make my own.
So where'd you get this from?
Mouser.
Oh,
Mouser Electronics. I was checking for specs for different manufacturers until found this microphone. But I need to check to connect it to the ESP32 and figure out how to capture audio.
Ever see another screen print? I don't ever have to worry about screen printing t-shirts and Jacksonville ever again.
I can get his prices from my old boss, but it's got to be a 200 piece minimum. They won't do any less.
Most of our shirt orders are like 100 shirts.
I can hear. What's going on, Ray? I can hear a bunch of people.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm here in St. Augustine, Florida, which is south of Daytona. North of Daytona, south of Jacksonville. Okay. So
Ray doesn't know where he's
carousel-
at.
So we turn this over here. We are playing with laser machines, and right now you can see that this laser machine is engraving a cup, kind of as a sample. It looks horrible, but there's several laser machines here in the building, and we're having fun cleaning, calibrating, and doing all that kind of fun stuff.
Cool.
So,
Does Augie still have the carousel?
does what?
Does St. Augustine still have the carousel?
We do not have the carousel, but we are trying to get one put back here.
Ah,
The carousel we had here went up north with the family that owned it. So there's a push now. Another family is trying to get the city to allow them to put one back by the library again. Did you know there was a carousel?
nice.
Yeah, they're trying to get it back.
That's good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now you know what I've been doing.
Playing laser.
I am playing laser. Yes. What are you guys doing now? I didn't get in here too late.
No,
Hanging.
This one's kind of a rare one. It isn't going to show up well on your display.
I'll fix the guy here. I'll fix the go.
oh, yeah, that's not going to show up well. Apparently, the spelling one isn't working either. It didn't resize it.
Yeah, that also.
if I'm looking at just the raw image right
Mhm.
there, I don't have, it basically cuts it off from about this point down or above.
What library are you trying to use to resize?
It's built into the M5 stack.
Ah,
So now I don't know. I did this about 15 minutes before the meeting started. 20 minutes before the meeting started. So this was really the first version. I'm surprised it worked as well as it worked. Let's try the scale, the scaling factor. Let's try to upload a new one.
Are you sharing something, Leroy?
I did. I stopped.
Oh, okay. Because I had something for a while and then you disappeared.
Yeah. Well, I was sharing the today's picture that was
Mhm.
supposed that I thought had actually scaled, and now that I'm looking at the actual picture from the website, it did not scale. So it didn't do what I thought it did. Oh, that scaled it. That scaled it way too small.
oopsie.
The whole thing's there. Okay. So, this is the link to the JSON. I get connected to the Wi-Fi. I go and get my JSON URL down here. That's pretty standard stuff. It just pulls the JSON into a string. Then I go and I decode the JSON, and I'm really only looking for three things right now: the alt title, the image, and the title of the image. And I extract that information out right here. And then this is where the image gets displayed. And it's a PNG image, so I'm pulling it from the URL. And I'm telling it to display it at location 00. And the maximum size of the screen is 320 by 240. And this is the scaling factor. And I think 0.5 is too small. So we're going to try it maybe 0.8.
I wonder if there's a auto scale option like 0 or
I went through the library and I didn't see an auto scale, but I think it's I think the biggest issue is going to be like you shared that one that has the wide panels, and they're all a little different, aren't they? They're all a little different size and whatever.
yeah. So if you pull down the PNG and get the dimensions of it,
Yep.
you can figure out what the scale you need is. And if it's a wide one, you have the option of basically scrolling it side to side.
I probably could do something like that because it's got the button, you know. Now we're getting complicated though. I definitely could pull the PNG down and save it to an SD card.
Yeah, PNGs are usually pretty small. It's going to be under a meg.
Yeah,
How much memory have you got to play with?
a lot.
I would try to write the alt text in there somewhere too.
Yeah, I'm going to. That was, and there you see it pulled the entire string, and then it says there's the alt text.
Yeah.
There's the image. Let's see how much memory this thing's taking. There's a lot. This is a very simple program. I'm actually using 75% of the program space,
Wow.
Hmm.
but the variable space I'm only using 14%. So and 0.8, 0.8 is just a little too big. So maybe 0.7. I think that's probably the problem with the core ink too. I'm probably scaling it wrong. That's a little better. It's still too big. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm going to have to pull the image in, do some calculations, and then center the image on the screen, because it's not going to center the way I think it is. Much better.
So that one is 39K.
I it,
And it's 281 by 333.
I think, let's see, they have a, I have to play with this some more. They have that JPEG decoder, but I don't know if it works on PNGs. And that resizes stuff on the fly.
They don't have a separate decoder for the PNG?
They do. It's
Yeah,
called,
tech.
yep,
Go ahead. Sorry.
it's called Pingle. PNGLE. Pingle.
Pingle, okay.
So let's see what Pingle does.
I mean, technically PNG is a simpler format than JPEG.
Yeah, Pingle just looks like it decodes the raw. Doesn't look like it's resizing anything. I don't know. I really think it looks pretty good on the paper displays. I don't think it looks so good on the LCDs. Especially after it's scaled.
Okay,
It's a little hard to read. So I'll have to play around with that some more. Maybe I'll have better luck with the large paper, with the M5 paper. They also don't advertise that JSON string anywhere. I actually found that in a Python project doing something similar. So I was like, oh, cool. That will make life easier. So yeah, it would be nice if it had the size.
So if you find an image and you're curious about it,
Mm-hmm.
xkcd.com/614, add /info.0.json after that, and it gives you a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, really? Okay, now say that again, because I just got a 404, so I didn't do something right.
Hold on a second.
Oh, I didn't do it right. That's
Okay.
no, I'm not doing something right.
The top link there is to one of the pages. The bottom link gives you information about that page.
That's a whole lot more information.
It isn't actually, it's just that that image has a bunch of panels.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think it's the same information.
It's the same information.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the exact same information.
Mhm.
It was a good try. So we know what Ray's been up to. We know what Vicente's been up to. Kinda. What has Art been up to?
Not much. We're trying to get ready to mosey back over to Ohio here pretty soon,
Yeah, that'll be good.
but it's still going to be a couple of months, I think. Got to get all this medical stuff tied off.
You take this mosey thing seriously.
Yeah, right. Well, you don't want to race along too fast. So,
Oh, I'm still watching the grandkid and playing around with microcontrollers. Just playing. Nothing important.
Nice.
My latest grandchild was born January 2nd
Ah,
and or born at just under 6.5 pounds. So this is a tiny, tiny baby.
oh
My
yeah.
my kids were all in the 12 plus pound range. So holding this one is interesting. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to drop it again.
Again?
Yeah,
have you dropped it once?
not this one. Others.
Others.
That explains my youngest son.
Ah, yes. Well,
I got a new phone. I'm sticking with cheapies. Motorola
Okay.
Edge.
Okay.
Hey, I got dropped a lot as a kid.
oh, that explains stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gee.
This thing claims to have a 50 megapixel main camera. It was $240. So my doctor has put me on one of these CGMs. So I'm now in the sticker club.
So
And
which one is it?
the Libre 3.
V3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was supposed to get a reader with it, but the insurance company didn't cover the reader, just the tags. So I got a phone instead because my phone didn't do NFC. This is a Motorola Edge. It was $240. It has an amazing camera. It has 5G. It does wireless charging. I'll still get about 3 days on a charge on it because I turned off all of the Motorola stuff. Like one of the Motorola apps does is if you move the phone, it wakes it up so that you can see that. I don't know what you can see. You can just see that you moved the phone, which I knew. And I hate that.
Can't you disable that feature?
I did. I disabled basically all of the Motorola apps, and it now does exactly what I want it to do. It wakes up when I tap it. Oh, one of the things that's neat, the fingerprint sensor is in the screen. Oh, didn't quite get it.
See, I don't
Come
know
on.
if I'd like that.
I'm kind of happy with it actually.
I
I mean,
I
I touch the
read-
screen anyway.
yeah, I read an article not too long ago talking about all the fingerprint sensors and how a lot of people want them on the back of the phone, like they were. They used to
Right.
be on the back of the phone.
Yeah.
Why they ever moved them, I don't know.
On the
But,
Motorola, my previous Motorola, it was in the power switch, which was kind of neat. I kind of liked that.
In the power switch.
yeah, it's right
And
there.
it's a two level switch. There's a if you push a little bit, there's a very slight tactile bump, and that's when it starts scanning. And if you push harder, there's a second bump, and that's when it turns it back off.
Hmm. So it's a toggle.
It's kind of neat. But yeah, this thing does a lot of stuff. It's also an OLED display, which is pretty impressive and very high resolution and 144 hertz refresh rate, which I can't see, so I set it back to 60. Because in theory, it makes the battery last longer.
The Motorola makes some surprisingly good phones, and surprisingly, I mean, other than their weird sound app and a couple of the Motorola apps that they add, there's really not a whole lot of bloat added to them. It's
Yeah.
just a couple of weird things.
What's the sound app?
Oh, that stupid digital.
Oh, when it first turns
Atmos.
on, hello, Moto. Yeah, I turned that off.
Hmm.
I actually left it on this phone, but I I don't get the appeal of it, so whatever. But yeah, my fingerprint sensor's there. It works, but it is the most awkward. This is how I hold my phone. This is where my finger goes.
Oh.
It is
Just
the most
scan in your
awkward.
thumbprint.
Yes. I guess I could.
Works real well. Of course, since I hold the phone with the left hand, I
Yeah,
had my finger over the power button.
yeah. So
But I
yeah,
always
I mean,
scan
if I was
multiple fingers.
I've got most of my right hand scanned. I think I've got one or two of my left hand scanned, but
So
if
it
I-
will recognize any one of those fingers.
mhm.
Yeah, I've got 5 prints scanned in. 3 of mine, 1 of Marla's, and 1 of my kids. If I
Yeah.
die, at least somebody can open my phone.
Yeah, I don't have my thumb scan. I guess I should probably do that, but
The 1 digit that naturally falls on that button.
it really it's still awkward.
You lose your finger, you are screwed.
I'm screwed.
If I die, my family might as well throw the router in the garbage, the server in the garbage, my phone, my computer.
They'll never be able to figure it out. Is that what you're saying, Ray?
Yeah.
So-
My daughter yelled at me. She called me an ASS hole one day, and I was like, "I'll show you." So I changed the Netflix password. For 3 years, she was like, "What's the password? What's that?" I finally told her what the password was. It's like it was ASS hole. That's what you called me, so that's what I changed the password to. And she's like, "I can't believe you, Dad." It was great.
Poor Ray.
Yeah, for me.
When my kids were younger, my middle son used to try to get into the router. He tried to I mean, everything short of actually resetting it. He spent weeks trying to just brute force hack the router. It was some crappy little Netgear or something. I don't remember what. And when we finally moved, he was helping me pack stuff up. And I hold up the router and showed him that I had the password on a note on the bottom of it.
Oh God.
I have a KeyPass database that has all of my passwords. It has thousands of passwords in it for everything I've ever worked on, everything they get added automatically. I back it up pretty frequently. And one of my kids has the password for that, and Marla does also. Because it has the passwords for the bank accounts and the power company and everything. If I die, I want her to be able to pay the power bills. I've seen what that's done to folks.
Yeah.
I had a colleague have a massive heart attack, and he had passwords to a whole bunch of things at work, and there was no backup. There was no, and brings real meaning to the term SOL.
Yep.
It's just we had a bunch of licensed software that he had the passwords for.
Nice.
And so you
The middle kid, her husband, he had his liver has failed, and when he was in the hospital, she did not have access to the bank or anything. They got kicked out of her apartment because her apartment was pretty much, we don't care, you need to pay us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Everything that's related to the house, the password for the mortgage account, for my bank account,
yeah,
for the CG&E, and well, whoever, Duke Energy, Cincinnati Bell, all of those, the URL, the username, the password, what the monthly bill is, that's all in my LastPass, or not LastPass, but KeyPass. And those are the ones for the house specifically, are written down on a paper in the fire safe.
yeah. Patty, she knows my PIN number, so she has access to the money without having access to the bank account.
Yeah.
As long as she can get the credit card, she's all right. But apparently Amanda did not have that. She just she fought with the bank for a while, and she fought with other people. She finally he got out of the hospital, and they finally added her to his account, so she has access now. But oh, it's just a Ray's head. That's spooky.
What?
they turned off the lights on him apparently.
It's in the car.
I was
Yeah,
looking.
they told me to get out of the building. Go. We're done.
We want to go home too.
Yeah.
So you're in the car now? Or the
Yeah,
truck?
I'm in the van. I got the van. I'm loaded up with all these supplies. This week I've been to place in Georgia, Panama City Beach, some places was a couple hundred miles away from Panama City Beach. And then I went to 2 schools in Tampa Then I had a customer in Ocala, another customer in North Ocala, then here. And I've been here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be here tomorrow. They've got a whole bunch of laser machines, and like every one of them was broken and needed repairs. And the previous employee who was in charge of lasers didn't train anybody and just said, "Hey, I'm leaving. Bye." And he didn't do any maintenance, didn't do any upkeep, didn't train anybody else how to use the lasers. So they brought me in to figure out what was wrong with all the lasers, what spare parts they needed, and I brought a whole bunch of stuff. So when I get done here tomorrow evening, I'll drive to Rome, Georgia, and then I've got one on Lake Appaloosa, Georgia, and then hopefully I'll make it home by Sunday evening for some dinner. I've got a customer on Monday, and then I got to go to Virginia on Tuesday. So that's my my thing. Yeah.
That one was a management problem. I have a strong belief that anybody that's running a company should require every employee to write down what they do. And once every year or so, that person's supervisor has to go over it and decide, could I do this person's job from this description?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That goes into passwords and stuff that only one guy knows.
Well, it's a loss of I don't call it intellect, but a loss of information when you're going from employee to employee.
Yep.
And yeah, it's not that I need to be able to replace anybody on any given day. It's just that I need to be able to continue my business if somebody dies or gets mad and leaves, something like that. So it is what it is. And I think in the long run we can always get back to working mode, but we shouldn't have to go through that much stress. This loss for this company is going to cost, I mean, a few $1,000s plus parts.
More than that.
Yeah, there's probably productivity and
If they make money
Lost
off of those
time.
lasers, then there's, lost time and productivity.
There are 7 people in the fab shop for this company, and they have 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 laser machines. One of them was working. One of the laser machines was working. Okay. And even after that, I'm showing them how, like, well, this one that you thought was working good, this mirror is destroyed. You're getting like half the power out of it. And the alignment wasn't right. You didn't know how to take care of it. You're just kind of like hoping that Ray shows up within the next 2 months so that he can make sure we know how to clean it, take care of it, because they're just kind of running on this battery with no battery charger. It's like eventually this battery's going to go, and we hope Ray shows up. So today, it's like showing them how to run the rotary on their machine. And these are some older machines that I was like, holy crap.
Were these machines you sold them?
No, none of these are from me. And that's the weird part. Like, I got to go in there, sit down, figure out the machine. I mean, it's close enough to my equipment that it's still in my field of interest and stuff. So it's kind of like my specialty would be Bengal tigers. And I show up and it's like, okay, this one's a panther, this one's a cougar, this one's a jaguar, this one's a serval, this one's an ocelot, and this one's a, all these different kinds of big cats. And I can still do the work necessary, but it's like, okay, there are some peculiarities on the tendons of an ocelot that is not the same as a serval. So, when I get into working with the lasers, I'm like, okay, these power supplies are a little bit different, have different connectors. They're running 150 watt lasers, and they're wondering, it's like, why am I only getting 60 watts out of this? Do I really need to get anything better? Instead of being a 0 to 5 volt system, the analog control going to the power supply is 0 to 3.3 volt system. And why is there a resistor hidden in the wire track that is in this wire? Different problems that they had no clue of what goes on. They're like, well, so long as it works. I'm like, no. If you're going to service this, you're going to repair it, you need to understand that your controller talks to a 3.3 volt power supply, or that your controller talks to a 5 volt power supply. And where does that value change? Is it happening in a potentiometer, a resistor, or on the controller? And these are just the technical things that I have to work with. And I know Steve there, his job has a lot of those technical understandings. But I think if Steve were to leave a company, and even if he gave them the passwords, just the experience, the understanding, knowing where to apply parameters and what passwords to use, what software to use to change, recalibrate stuff, or to reset servers and computer stuff. That's a lot of real information. I mean, some of the stuff I'm doing today was like, here, apply tape, fire the laser, use a red ink pen. Like, this is not super technical stuff, but then like they just don't have any applied understanding of laser beams and laser geometry. Sorry.
So
Not
what
at
do they
all right.
what do they make there?
There's a couple different companies within this room. So it's kind of like the employees that are there service 3 different companies. And one of the companies is called Menu Designs. So they make the high-end menus for major weddings, major catered events for politicians, high-end catered events at hotels. So if you were to go to a 5-star hotel and you're expecting that your lunch is going to be a few $100s, you're going to get a really nice high-end menu, and it's going to be laser engraved into this stuff that looks basically like Formica. And the lettering will be different color fills, of white color fill, gold color fill. I mean, it's some cool, very, very cool stuff. But it's not like, oh yeah, you have an 8.5 by 11, copy of the menu that we went to Kinko's and got a copy of it. Is it not like that at all?
So these are high-end printers, basically.
Laser engravers, it upsets me for people to call them printers, but yeah.
They're making marks on sheets of stuff.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. They're using high energy laser light to obliterate sections of the material and gouge out lettering and arts and stuff into graphics into the material. And the material could be wood, pine, alder, whatever, different kinds of woods, but it's higher end stuff. And they're printing stuff really, really nice. Hotel menus, hotel logos. This is like, if you went to like the really nice steakhouse at one of the big hotels in Las Vegas, and they're like, okay, here are the 5 main entrees that are being served tonight. Pick one of these. Or, if you go to, let's say you bought a seat at a fundraiser for a political event. You already know what you ordered for your dinner. But when you show up there, the menu will have your name on it at your seat placement with all the food that you're going to be eating. And this menu probably cost $100, but you paid $4,000 to eat dinner there as a donation.
Your souvenir.
Like, no, I do not eat dinner at places like that ever. But I'll take the money.
Barry's here.
How are
Yo,
you?
Barry.
Greetings.
Anything new, Mr. Barry?
I almost forgot about the meeting.
Okay.
Decided to read my email. It said, "Hey, meeting started."
Uh,
This is
Well-
the annoying Leroy.
do what?
Leroy with the mails will become annoying. 5 minutes to start, 2 minutes to start, 1 minute.
I'm just having fun.
No, it's okay. I like it. I have something to show. I did a month ago. Let
Okay.
me share the screen. How I share the screen? Share.
You've got sharing turned on, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, you can see this. Okay. Sharing, right? This is the ESP32 camera here.
Okay.
Okay. Connected to a TFT display here. Okay. Color. And I am detecting 4 colors in the image, adding all the pixels that have the same color, and calculating the center of the area of each color, you know. And then I send to my computer the size of the number of pixels of green, for example, and the center of those pixels. So I can do that now for 4 colors simultaneously, 25 times per second, you know?
Okay.
So you can have an image in movement and follow 4 different objects of 4 different colors. And this is something that can be used for a robot vision or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And still have plenty of time to do whatever else, because I introduced a 10 milliseconds delay in the main program, and it still is working 25 frames per second.
Wow.
If I increase to 20 milliseconds, I start losing some frames. The frames drop to 14 or something. So I can do something every 25 times per second using 10 milliseconds, maybe controlling a robot or whatever. That's what I was doing last December. Okay. I was working with different algorithms because now I can analyze the image. I can capture grayscale images or RGB images and compute whatever I want in the image. I was trying to follow a line. This is the part of my experiment. I can find the brightest spot in the image. I can find the center of a color object. And this is a lot of stuff that can be done with the ESP32 camera. Well, that's it.
Nice. So did you find that it needs a lot of light? Like when I was playing around with the color.
Yeah, I saw your work and the
Yeah.
libraries. Yeah.
Needs a lot of light, doesn't it?
No, not in my case, but you can change the level of the sensitivity of the camera. You can change the range of the light level of the color. You can work with all the things you want. You know, I have full control of the image and the
Okay,
camera, so
I like it. Yeah. Yeah. I need to get back to playing robots.
yeah.
I have
Me
this one
too.
sitting here that just wants to do something. Go do something. It's got the IR follower on it. I never quite finished that. Never quite finished that sketch.
Okay, this is the Romy robot.
Yep. With the M5 Atom on it.
Nice.
The Atom motion.
Does that come with a vacuum cleaner?
I have a bunch of those in a box, maybe 10 of them.
Yeah. I went and picked up all the rest of the robot parts and everything from the old house. I got so many of these round chassis.
Me too.
I got more round chassis than I know what to do with. It's not a vacuum cleaner. This is the cousin to the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
I
On vacuum cleaners,
do
we
I?
went out and bought another one
Oh,
to replace the Walmart Eufy that was not doing well. Does anybody want that thing? Okay. It isn't going to vacuum much anymore.
it's all right.
Okay.
It doesn't need to vacuum. You know, it's got parts and play around things.
Yeah, I think the drive motors are still okay.
It's
The
round.
battery's okay.
It's
It is.
round and it's got play around parts in it.
I'll bring you the charger and the robot next meeting.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
And-
this is a Walmart knockoff of the
Mhm.
Rumba.
Yeah, this one, the one of the things I liked about it, it had navigation. So it would follow, it would go until it found a wall and then follow the wall and then do parallel stripes away from the wall.
Okay.
We replaced it with an iRobot that self-empties itself, and it's pretty impressive too. It also does navigation. Yeah, it's a thing. I've now had a Eufy, an iRobot, and a Shark. And the Shark seems to do the best cleaning. It's also a self-emptier. And Marla has long hair. The Shark is the only one that doesn't seem to end up with a hairball every week.
Yeah.
If there are any other ones out there that anybody wants to have tested, just let me know. When one of these dies, I'll go get it.
The
iRobot has the best map on my phone. The Shark is very good. It doesn't. So the iRobot runs around in an area and then draws a square around it and says that must be what the room looks like. Whereas the Shark runs around wherever it goes and then draws lines mostly around that. So it'll show a room that isn't square or rectangular, whatever. It frequently gets my bedroom as a trapezoid. I haven't figured that out, but whatever. Seems to clean nicely.
What was that one? I don't even know if they make them anymore. Started with an N. It had the laser module on it, and that thing would map pretty good, but it wasn't smart. It was basically a Roomba, a dumb Roomba with a map.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That robot's hackable. We could hack
Really?
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So it may be dead as a robot or as a vacuum cleaner, but it will live as a robot.
Keep it away
Pero
from the gun case.
Keep it away from the gun case. Yeah.
this is yes, M5 stack stuff.
Yeah,
Let's see what happened there.
yeah, sort of.
Let me turn
The
off my background. Yeah, there.
yeah.
This is the Atom S3. It
Yeah.
has a microphone. It has a microphone and an ESP32. I want to use this in my laptop to go around the yard and detect the distance between the laptop and the beacon. But it's raining, so I have to stay indoor.
Yeah.
Right now.
It actually warmed up today, even though it was raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly warm actually.
Yeah, but wet.
But wet.
Yeah, a lot of rain.
Mhm.
Whereas a week ago, it was down overnight, it was down to like 5, 6, something like that
Yeah,
in
it's really
Milford.
cold here. Yes. Same.
Yeah. I got the M5 stack, the new QR code reader, and that scale. I cannot get the scale to work right.
I also had this. This is the scale. And where is the sensor?
I don't know. I don't have it in front of me.
Okay. This is the Atom Echo.
Yep. I got a couple of those. Be careful with those because you can destroy the speaker in those really, really easy.
Yes.
Yes. I destroyed one of the speakers in one of them, and I was able to get another one, but
But using software or physically software. Well,
yeah,
I try everything with them. I don't know.
it started I had converted a file or something for it to play it back, and it just started to make this awful noise, and it destroyed. An M5 stack added after the fact. They added a warning about doing it on their website. So
Okay.
I probably became a tester for them without knowing it.
I was using it with a quarter of the power, and I changed the direction like plus minus 60 degrees to check the intensity of the signals.
Mm-hmm.
And it works pretty nice at several meters of distance. I use another one to detect the signal because it has a microphone. This is, what is this? This is an Atom
S3.
S3, okay.
Just yeah, I'd be careful. I'd be careful with the Atom Echo though, because
I have four of those.
I have 3 of those, but only one of those doesn't work anymore, or the speaker doesn't work. Actually, I think I took the speaker out of that because it wasn't
strange.
working.
Maybe a loose contact. or
No, it
something?
actually
No?
fried the speaker. I hooked the speaker up to something else, and it would not work.
But you read about something about that, or it's only your experience?
It was because I think it was because I converted the file incorrectly. And there's the Atom S3 with the tiny
EFT
display. And a dead battery.
The cheapest ESP32 in Amazon are made by Espressif, the development boards, and they are have very nice presentation. You see,
Yep.
How much?
$8 delivered.
I found out that Lily Go used to make really good cheap stuff. Their stuff has gotten expensive now, though.
Yeah.
They're starting to get into making expensive stuff, which I don't like. I want cheap stuff.
It's a ESP32 with the WIMOS format.
Mm-hmm.
Really, I like the USB-C connector.
Yep.
Because they last forever. You know, connecting and disconnecting. They're very strong. I like the format. It's really nice.
This is a neat little board. It's got a USB-C on it and a 0.96
And
OLED.
battery charger or not?
No, this one does not have the battery charger.
Those are buttons in the edge.
Yeah, There's two buttons and one of those,
I2C or something?
yeah, it's an I2C. It's that, that smartphone
Yeah,
connector.
the Kiwi something or
Yeah,
Kiwi.
it's
Kiwi
an
something.
S2. It's a nice little board because it's got the little OLED on it. It's almost then there's a Lily Go board.
Okay.
When they were still affordable. I think that was
Lily Go and TT Go are the same people because they have two brands that are very alike.
yeah. Yeah, this is a TT Go, but I bought it from the Lily Go store, so it's a Lily Go. And I got a bunch of those ESP32 D1 mini format things.
Yeah.
And this one's the ESP 8266 with a battery connector on it. It's
Mhm.
basically a D1 mini with a battery attached to it.
Nice. Portable.
Yeah. And this one was reasonable. I think it was $10 or something like that. It's a Lily Go. I keep all my Wemos and Lily Go's in this container, and all my
Yeah.
M5 stack stuff in a different container.
You are putting them in another dimension. They disappear.
Save space.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you can't see my.
No, no.
Oh.
In the lunar lander, in the 1999 space. Sure.
See, if I was a magician, that would have worked great. It just disappeared.
Yeah, okay.
Abracadabra. And I got these little tiny suckers too.
Okay.
It's got 25 neopixels on it. ESP, I think this is a C3. And it's very bright.
But I always use the NeoPixel in 8 level. Instead of 255, only 8 is enough. Wow, it's too shiny.
It's actually I set the brightness low on those. They're just bright. They're bright. There. That one's better.
Okay.
That said, it's saying hello world.
So how much current is it pushing through each of those LEDs?
Have no idea.
Very little.
We talking about sub 5 milliamps?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Now can you move your hand to stabilize it in the image?
Synchronizing.
That is about the smallest OLED I have ever seen.
Yeah,
That thing
that's
is
hilarious.
tiny. But I mean, you can't read it on the screen, but it's perfectly legible.
What is that? Like 10 millimeters square or something?
It is 0.42 inch, whatever that is. Or 0.41, something like that. It's
10 by
tiny.
10. Tiny.
I actually, when I bought those, I thought I was getting something a little bit bigger. And these little teeny tiny boards show up, and I'm like, oh, I guess that is what I bought. That was, I think, because of the OLED, that was like $7 for that little teeny tiny board. And that is a C3. There's a ESP32 C3 on that.
C3 is the board that has the RISC-V
Yep.
microprocessor or
Yep.
core. That is free. It's open source, so it's the cheapest.
Yeah.
One, right?
Usually it's the cheapest one.
Core
Yes.
5.
Yes. The C series, I think all the C series are RISC, and the S series are doing are
what's the
the
name of
replacements for the original 32s.
Yeah.
The
The
S,
one core of 2 cores.
yeah. The S3 is that seems to be the latest and greatest that everybody seems to be basing stuff on.
Yeah. This is the S3.
Yeah. Yeah, the S3s are pretty awesome. I've got, yeah, I think it's an H series. I don't have it here. I don't have it with me. I've got one that has it's a RISC-V processor. It's got both. Well, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got Bluetooth, and it's got Zigbee built
This is
into
the
it.
H something.
I think it's an H6.
Okay.
I think that's what it was, but
the Arduino IDE
nobody
is
supports
still,
it yet.
no, you can use an alpha version that is available for the Arduino.
It
but
didn't work quite
released.
right.
Okay.
I tried it, it didn't work quite right, but yeah, when that hits, that should be fun because Firehouse sub.
But
Ray's eating dinner.
So he's getting a gourmet dinner, huh?
At Firehouse sub.
Actually, I kind of like their subs.
I like their subs too.
this is the S2.
Yep.
It has the USB port in the chip, so it's a single chip board.
So the question is what are we going to do with all these processors that we have? Because I have stacks of these things. And you have stacks of these things.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I would say you guys should build one of those fleet of drones that do lettering and sculptures in the air.
That'd be cool. Lord knows I've got plenty of LEDs to do stuff with. So
I have three more ESP.
So you're
F3.
you're like me. You've got stuff that's not even open yet.
Robot football teams.
That
a lot.
that's from years ago, not open. Years ago.
This is a box with C3s. 3 of them.
Hope Ray delivers.
Ray is
I
in
need to-
Florida. It would be a long.
I need to
delivery.
zoom that
Yeah.
tomato.
Good. It's a relay board,
It's
but
ripping.
it's never been open. It's got an ESP32, ESP8266 on board. Never been open.
Wow. Wow.
I am pretty sure I
Yes.
bought that when
Yes,
MCM went out of
ESP32.
business.
This is the mini.
I've got a few of those too. Here,
Yeah, I should open a class.
look here. It's taped shut.
Okay.
It is
Brand new.
an ESP camera with an external
Okay.
antenna. Brand new. I've got stacks of this stuff. Need to do something useful with this stuff. All right. We are live in person
Almost.
next week,
Okay.
and it's 7:00. So
Okay.
I will
Bring food or bring toys.
a little bit of all that. I'll see everybody later.
Bye. See you next
Hopefully
week.
we'll
Take
see
care,
everybody
guys.
in person.
Bye.
See you
Good night,
guys.
Steve.
Bye. Bye, Ray.
Bye.
Bye now.
Bye, Ray.